Hey guys, and welcome to a brand new video here on the View from the Crowd YouTube channel, and today we are going to be discussing the round of 16 for the Champions League and the round of 32 for the Europa League. So just like I did a while back with the group stages and whatnot, I will be going through all 8 games of the round of 16 for the Champions League, and then looking at the British teams still currently competing in the round of 32 of the Europa League. Given my predictions, who I think will go through, I was pretty spot on with my my predictions for the group stages and who would go through. There was the odd one that I missed here and there, but on the whole, I got it pretty much correct. So I'll give myself a little pass on the back for that one. But now, 2 legs, and I've now got to decide, God knows how many games, who I think is going to go through. So of course, the Champions League kicks off in just under a week now, and I will be starting from the games that are going to be happening, next Tuesday, then Wednesday, and then the following week, going sort of in kind of chronological order of when when the first legs kick off. So that means first off, we start off with RB Leipzig versus Liverpool. Now, I think a few months ago, probably when the group stages ended, you would have gone, Liverpool are going to probably just romp this. They're probably going to go through. It's going to be no issue whatsoever. But things change, and Liverpool are in a horrendous slump at the moment. Really not playing well, and been cursed with injuries. But just in general, Liverpool are really not playing good football, which makes this game a lot more interesting. Of course, Liverpool, after winning the Champions League 2 seasons ago now, they bowed out of this round this time. Well, actually, the quarterfinals this time last season. So, hopefully they're not regressing in the Champions League, but you never know. So, as for RB Leipzig, very solid team, still doing very well in the Bundesliga, and they have a real shot here to knock out Liverpool. I think they've got great potential to do it. Liverpool really need to turn their fortunes around. So, personally, I'm going to go. I think at home, Leipzig are probably going to win, but then away, it's probably going to be a draw at Anfield. So, personally, I'm going to go RB Leipzig to go through, but that's not 100%. That's not dead on. It really could go either way, I think, but I'm just gonna go with RB Leipzig to go through. Next up, we've got Barcelona versus PSG. Wow, that is another absolutely stunning fixture. Paris, they did all right to get through in the group stages. They didn't exactly wow us. It was very close between them, Leipzig, and Man United of who were going to get through. But eventually, it was Paris who, they finished. I think they finished second in their group. So they're going to be playing Barcelona, and wow. People are very quick to always sort of slag off Barcelona and say, they're a bit crap. They're sort of in the mud at the moment. But this is still Barcelona. They are a great side. Yes, they got absolutely annihilated by Bayern in last year's competition. But new season, new Barcelona, and I think this could be incredibly close. Of course, we all remember the last time PSG Barcelona faced each other in the Champions League. Epic comeback. But I think this is either going to swing one way or another. It's going to be very much PSG or it's going to be very much Barcelona. I don't think there's really going to be sort of any in between. But if I was to put my money on it, I think I'm going to go with PSG, but only just. It's sort of in my head, like, it's really hard to say, but I honestly think, I'm going to go with PSG to go through the next round and beat Barcelona over both legs. Next up is Sevilla versus Borussia Dortmund. It's quite a good matchup, even though it may not seem it. It might seem just like one of those sort of bit off games, but I think that's generally quite a good matchup of teams. Sevilla, doing fairly well in La Liga, sat in fourth. Dortmund, as always, sort of pushing near the top of the Bundesliga. Sort of you see clips come out from what Dortmund are doing. Haaland is killing it. Sancho is doing amazing things. That sort of operation that's going on at Dortmund right now is really working, and this could actually be quite a close game, to be honest. I was watching, I haven't watched much of Sevilla in La Liga, but from seeing them play Chelsea in the group stages, they were very good. They were a very solid team. I think they definitely could give Dortmund a run for their money. I'm having quite a tough time sort of like predicting which way this will go. Honestly, I think this could be one that could end up, going to like extra time penalties in the second leg. But I think while that might be likely and while that might happen, personally I think it's very rare that it does happen due to the away goals rule. So I think I'm gonna go with Sevilla. I don't know. Dortmund, while they are a good side, and while they've had a good side for many years, they never really seem to progress much in the Champions League. They get to this point, and then usually they don't get too much further. And I just think Sevilla just have that little bit more that's going to be able to push them through to the quarterfinals. So I'm going to go with Sevilla to knock out Borussia Dortmund. Next up is Porto versus Juventus, and I think this is the first sort of real obvious one that you can sort of go, yeah, it's going to go this way or that way. Juventus to knock out Porto. Well, Porto do well in their, respectively in Portugal. They're just not as good as Juventus, who are also doing fairly well in Serie A. So, yeah, it's a pretty obvious one for me. It's going to be Juventus to knock out Porto. Now we get on to the features that are not happening next week, but the week after, and that is Chelsea versus Atletico Madrid. My team, well, I say that despite wearing a bloody Ajax top right now, but anyway, I want to have faith. And the football that we're playing under Tuchel is very possession based. It's working. It's functional. It's not exactly pulling out the most amazing performances of all time, but it's been good enough, and we've yet to lose a game under him. Even the fact that he's just been in charge for 3 games, but I'll take that. I will take that after quite a dreary few months that we had, sort of at the back end of Lampard's tenure at the club. But Chelsea do have a more than capable squad of doing well in the Champions League, and there's no sort of doubt or reason why we couldn't give Atletico Madrid a challenge. However, we are talking about the team which are currently top of La Liga, absolutely killing it at the moment. Luis Suarez is going to be a huge threat to our defence, as well as just most of their team, to be honest. It's going to be a tough game. I think the first leg at Atletico is probably going to be the defining game because Chelsea can pull special things off at the bridge, but we don't seem to be scoring too much. So if Chelsea are able to come away with a draw or just only sort of like a marginal sort of loss, at Atletico, then we've still got hope. But I think if Atletico is scoring 3 goals without reply, I think you can pretty safely say that we're not going to give them too much of a challenge at the bridge, just because we're not scoring goals at the moment, and that just seems to be our issue. So if we can, get an away goal, I think that could be huge for Chelsea's chances. But from that, I think it's going to be a very tough. But if I am to make a prediction, I'm going to say it will be Atletico Madrid to knock out Chelsea. Next up, we've got Lazio versus Bayern at Munich. Yes, this is another game where you just go, yeah, right, who's going to win this one? I think it's going to be Bayern. I think that's fairly obvious that Bayern are probably going to beat, well, I have to say probably, because I can never say 100% sure that they're going to win. But yeah, I'm going to go with Bayern Munich to knock out Lazio. Next up, we have Atalanta versus Real Madrid. Another fixture where you're just going to go, I wonder. Yeah, Atalanta aren't doing particularly brilliantly in Serie A, while Real Madrid currently sits second in La Liga. So, yeah, it's Real Madrid to knock out Atalanta is fairly obvious, and which also then just brings me on to the final game, which is Manchester City versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. And while I respect Mönchengladbach, I think they're a great team. Man City is currently romping the Premier League. They are on how many games undefeated right now, and Pep's just sort of brought that team right back into its stride. So I'm going to go with Manchester City to knock out Borussia Mönchengladbach. So that's all the teams. That's all the games in the Champions League knockout stages. So let's move on to the Europa League. There are still a few British teams still competing in the Europa League. So let's see their round of 32 fixtures and predict what will happen. So first off, we start with, a team, the only British team, I believe, to drop out of the Champions League this year, and that was Manchester United. They face Real Sociedad. United have been sort of up, down a bit in recent, sort of in the last month or so. We saw them climb all the way to the top of the Premier League, and then their form is sort of going a bit up and down. Their form in Europe, earlier this season wasn't particularly brilliant, which saw them exit the Champions League. And Real Sociedad are going to be, they're going to be a decent opponent. But I do believe that over the two fixtures, Manchester United should be able to to get past them. United really going to be looking at the Europa League as a real chance for a trophy this season. It looks like the Premier League might be a little too far away. The FA Cup, they're still very much in, based on the fact that they won last night, or a couple of days ago when this probably comes out. But I think it's going to be. An interesting fixture, but I think in the end United will have enough to prevail and move on to the round of 16. Next up, we have Tottenham versus Wolfsburg. Not Wolfsburg from the German division, but Wolfsburg from the Austrian division. And despite the fact that Spurs have really been lacking in form recently, not particularly playing well. They did get a decent result last time out, and Harry Kane is kind of back. He's kind of still injured, but he's still back at the moment. So hopefully he'll be fit enough to play. I think he'll be a very sort of key player in their Europa League campaign. They've been struggling in the Premier League somewhat with the fact that they've really missed him. They've really missed Harry Kane, and it's not allowed Son or any sort of the other attacking players to really do their thing. They've just seen them drop out of the top four now. But I think this should be a feature that they should be winning. But you never know. But I think Tottenham are the team that are likely going to come out on top in this fixture. Again, like I said about Manchester United, Spurs might actually want to look. They're trying to win this trophy. I think that'll be a great success for Jose and Tottenham, considering how long it's been since they have won a trophy. And the fact that they were in the Champions League final 3 years ago, and here they are. Here they are. But I could joke all aside and sort of push my bias aside a bit, but Tottenham will win this game, and they will. They should win this game, and I see them going through into the next round. Next up, we have Slavia Prague versus Leicester City. Leicester City's still in the Europa League. They're actually in the Europa League. I know you probably had forgotten somewhat because it's not something we're entirely used to. Leicester, good run of form in the Premier League at the moment. They have been dropping the result here and there, but they've been relatively consistent and keep performing at a high level. So kudos to them. But they do come across a very tough opponent in Slavia Prague. which I think is an opponent which is going to really test their ability to go far in this competition. If they struggle or only just get through, I don't think they're going to sort of last much longer. But if they do get through comfortably, then you could definitely see Leicester being fairly strong contenders. But as I said, it's not going to be tough. Slavia Prague, top of the Czech division. So it's naturally going to be hard to take a team down which are in such good run of form. I know it is Europe, it's a different stage, different competition, but Leicester need to be bringing their A game to this game. And honestly, I do predict them to go through. I do predict Leicester to go through. They are playing brilliant football, but whether or not it's close or not could really show just how difficult their campaign in the future is going to be. Next up, we have Arsenal versus Benfica. Now, this is a great. I think if you go through the sort of the Europa League fixtures, there are a few good games in there, but this one is, I would say, is probably one of the best to come out of this round. A huge hitter in the Portuguese league versus sort of a mid hitter in the Premier League at the moment. Arsenal, they haven't been playing too bad. They're going to be missing Aubameyang, which of course is going to be huge sort of on the European stage. Aubameyang has a lot of experience on the European stage as a striker with Borussia Dortmund. But this is it is like the ultimate test for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal to see if they are contenders in this competition. Last season we saw them get knocked out by Olympiacos, a game which they really should be winning, and they get knocked out. That I know if you're an Arsenal fan, you would have been incredibly disappointed with that result. And here they are, back into the knockout stages of the Europa League after a fairly successful group stage campaign. It's now time to hit the ground running in the knockout stage and beat Benfica. However, as I've already mentioned, Benfica are going to be a very tough opponent, and they're going to be another team which are, anytime that they're in the Europa League, are going to be seen as contenders and seen as a team that could potentially go all the way. So, what more do you want from this game? It's going to be huge for both teams. But, as it comes to my prediction, I want to push away my Chelsea bias, but personally, I think in any sort of logical brain, you're going to expect that Benfica are going to be the one to come out on top. And considering how Arsenal are playing this season, they're really not playing as well as they were last season. They're sort of stumbling around in mid-table at the moment. So I think it's going to be Benfica who are going to be the ones to go through. I could be wrong. I think it's a game that could, really go either way. But personally speaking, I think it's going to be Benfica to go through. And finally, in the Europa League, we have Antwerp versus Rangers. Rangers really surprised me. I didn't have them to get through. I thought they would sort of crash out and Celtic would end up getting through, but no, it was the other way around. It was Celtic who crashed out of the Europa League, and it is Rangers who have found themselves into the round of 32. Kudos to Rangers and Steven Gerrard for the amazing job to get this far. They're absolutely killing it in Scottish football right now. And honestly, I don't see any reason why they won't be able to make it past Antwerp. This is, a position that Rangers, it's been a while since they've sort of got far in any European competition. And with the momentum that's behind them right now and the sort of the joys that finding of having Steven Gerrard as their manager, I think it really could take them far. But of course, you can never make too many assumptions, but I am going to pick Rangers to go through here. I think the momentum that they're carrying right now is just excellent. It is looking like they probably will win the Scottish title. My opinion of Scottish football is for another video. But it's still you can't argue with the fact that they're top of their league. They're playing incredible football, and maybe this can translate onto the European stage. We will see on Thursday. Well, in a week. But I think this is a great opportunity for Gerrard to really show what he's capable of as manager, we've seen many former players, well, kind of crash and burn. Frank being the obvious one at the moment. Well, he's really succeeded. So it's going to be a big showing, and it's going to be a big moment. But I'm sure they can do it, and that's why I'm backing them to beat Antwerp. So that is all from me. It's been a fairly lengthy video going through all the fixtures, but I'm really looking forward to this Champions League campaign, even if I am a bit sceptical about Chelsea's position in all of it. But I am, fingers crossed, hoping for the best. You know, Tuchel has taken PSG all the way to the final, so, you know, there's no reason why he can't do it with Chelsea. But you never know. That is all from me. Let me know your predictions down in the comments below. I'd love to hear whether you agree or disagree with me. So guys, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe. If you did like this video, make sure to give it a like. Also, make sure to follow my blog. I've been posting fairly regularly on there recently, so make sure to check that out. Also, go and check out Spotlight Pro. I've started a monthly Chelsea column on there, so writing about all things Chelsea. Also, I've been doing other pieces, NFL, Formula 1. So, yeah, go make sure to check out my articles on there. So, guys, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. My name's Billy Edwards. Thank you, and goodbye.